Hello everyone and welcome to our transition presentation. This is the presentation that you would have heard in the face-to-face meeting on Wednesday the 24th of June, but due to current weather conditions this is now an online presentation for you to watch. My name is Sarah Collum. I'm one of the assistant head teachers of the school and I oversee transition, and I will go through the information that we would have explained at the meeting. Should you have any questions, and you may well do, next week we do have our transition interviews and you will have the opportunity to ask us questions there and take a copy of the parent handbook. And then post those interviews I will also be sending out a Google form, so if you've still got questions you want to ask, you can ask us via that, so that will support you in order to be able to ask any questions you still have. So welcome to our school. We're very excited about welcoming you. First of all, we need to start with how we are going to support the child coming to our school. We have a series of events that involves the children. We have our transition event for SEND pupils, including EHCP pupils, this Friday, the 26th of June, 9 o'clock until 10:30. And that is a moment in which children can see some of our school, partake in some All About Me activities, and see the Oak area in which there are TAs present and they get to meet our staff. And at the same time, families will meet the Senkos and be able to ask questions about what support looks like in our school. Then on Wednesday, the 1st of July, we have the transition day for all children, and that is borough-wide, and that is when children will be coming in for their taster day. Summer school, I'll be giving you some further information about very shortly. The first day of school, I just want to reassure you that this is in September on Thursday the 3rd, and no other pupils will be in that day. So this will give the opportunity for them to see the school, have a guided tour, partake in some team building events, and really get to know what the school is like on that day. For the first term, they will have the opportunity to finish their lesson a little bit earlier before lunchtime, so they get time to go through the canteen and learn how to get their lunch and what that is like. Each morning we meet the children at line-up, so they'll come in through the Whitehall gates. They have tutor time, and that gives us the time to check in with them, see how they are and welcome them into our school. They will have weekly assemblies in which the expectations and achievements are shared, and there is time for pupils to get used to our school. It does take time to come from primary school to secondary school, and they've got a lot of information, a lot of processes to get through, so we do give them the time to understand what it is they've got to be able to do and where they're going, etc. So you hopefully have seen the email we sent out a few weeks ago, both with regard to the national picture and the local picture. Smartphones are being restricted. So the new year 7 pupils are not allowed to bring in smartphones into school, and that expectation is in place throughout years 7 up to 11. This is working with other schools in Waltham Forest to reduce the smartphone usage among children. It will support their well-being, concentration, and support positive social interactions. Yes, we absolutely understand, as well as other schools, that you may need to contact your child, especially when they're travelling to and from school at a time when it might be their first time. So you are really encouraged that if you really need to do that, then you need to get a basic mobile phone, and it cannot have internet access, otherwise it is classified as a smartphone. So how do we keep your child safe? As we mentioned, there's a line-up in the morning. We lead them into lessons and form time. The tutors are their first point of contact, and they address and support pupils. They are the people that they see every day for their form class. We run a system in which only 1 year group at a time goes through into lunch. So they go through the toilets, that's their time to go, whether it's at break time or lunchtime. But in particular at lunchtime, we do 1 year group at a time, and staff are present by the girls' and boys' toilets when they're open, so they monitor behaviour, and then they go straight through into the canteen. Year 7 will eat their lunch together. They get time to, again, have social time together and make friendships and really get used to, again, the process of how they get their lunch and where they're going to, where they're sitting, etc. We have separate place for them to play at lunchtime, which again helps them with their friendships and to get used to the school. On the one-way systems in the corridors, that is after each lesson, that supports calm transitions. We are a cashless school. I'll mention about the biometric system shortly. And we have a really clear safeguarding system and team, right from the safeguarding lead down to the form tutors and teachers and staff around that are trained in safeguarding, and we do monitor and keep an eye on children, even an instructor time at break time, lunch time, and within their lessons. Furthermore, we need you to work with us. We need to know up-to-date information around any medical or dietary information, in particular where there's medication involved, processes involved, so that we can help the child at different points and whatever needs that they have. If there are any emerging SEND issues or developments, any significant changes in the family or living circumstances, we do need to know about as it affects the child themselves. And if you feel there are any safeguarding risks or otherwise, if anything else is happening that you know will affect how your child is and the safety and how they are learning at school. It does take us time to get to know the child, so everything does take us time to do that. And indeed, it can take each child a little bit longer to get used to secondary school. So again, the transition process takes that into account, and we've got to give them time as well to get used to our school. But if you do have any concerns, then your first point of call will be the year leads, who will be introduced next week. Furthermore, how do we share information? We have our daily form time. We have weekly assemblies that are on different themes. We have workshops, whether it's on health and safety or dietary needs. And we work closely with Waltham Forest to make sure that information is up to date. We have our fortnightly PI lesson, which is otherwise known as PSHE, which in this sense, PI is philosophy, identity and ethics. And that is bespoke to each year group, and they learn about different aspects of the PSHE curriculum depending upon the year group, and that is shared online. In terms of curriculum content that we need to share, whether it might be online safety, for example, we do share that with parents, often on our Google Sites. And any parent workshops that we run, you are signposted to come and join as well through email. We do contact you, and also through our Arbor system. We do have a team of counsellors in our school that do support pupils when they are referred, and we work closely with the Waltham Forest mental health support team, and we attend different community meetings with the police, early help, etc. And you may have seen SLT around and about in the community as well. If you do need to raise a concern, the first point of concern is always the form tutor they see every day. We have our year lead, and in this case we've got 2 year leads that will be with year 7 that will be introduced next week. We've got our SLT link with the year group and our deputy head, who is also one of our deputy heads is also the designated safeguarding lead that you can see on here. That's Neil Hutchins, who oversees safeguarding, alongside Samantha Shorter, who is our deputy safeguarding lead. And alongside that, specifically for SEN children, this is our SENCOs, which is Rebecca Lewis and again Samantha Shorter, and they work specifically with SEN children. And you will always see us each morning at the gates. So if you're dropping your child off and you need to speak to us, then we are there. So what else is coming up? We've got a busy couple of weeks coming up for transition. We've got our SEND coffee morning and transition event this Friday from 9 o'clock until 10:30. We really hope to see you there. We have emailed out this new time and sent you out a Google form to confirm your attendance. Then we've got our transition day for all pupils next Wednesday. I'll be going through a little bit more later. Then we've got our transition interviews with families on Thursday the 2nd and Friday the 3rd of July. We have summer school on the 22nd and 23rd of July. And the year 7s will start on Thursday the 3rd of September, just them in school. So I do need to go through the transition interviews in particular. Many of you have confirmed your attendance. So earlier on this year, this would have been in April, we sent you a letter on your email account that invited you for an appointment. This is at least a 20 minutes meeting. It can be up to sort of 25 minutes if we're running to time. You will meet a teacher, a member of SLT or the SEND team, and the child is not required to attend with you. We've put that in the letter. This is a meeting with the family in particular, and this is important for us to understand how you and the child have found primary school, the education system, homework, any home circumstances or situations or developments that we need to be aware of, and also any concerns or particular excitement perhaps about transition. So we need to know where the child is at and where you are at in terms of that process. Because we are still formulating the form classes, we have asked that if you can bring a list of friends with you from the school that you think they would like to be in a class with. We can't absolutely promise that this will be followed through because we have 180 pupils plus actually to go and put into form classes that can be quite difficult for us to make sure they're in with everybody that's on the list, but we do try to put them with at least one person that they are with. It really will depend upon information we get from the primary school as well, so we balance that against what we get from yourselves as well, and we discuss that with you. But these are really, really important interviews, especially because we've not been able to meet you this week. This is your time to come in, ask questions as well. And overwhelmingly last year, it was the first time we run it at our school, and the families really, really thought it was brilliant. So, and you can see the quote on here from one of our families. So I really strongly recommend, if you haven't already, please confirm with us on the Google form we sent that you are able to come. Unfortunately, we can't run these on another day because this is staff that we are bringing off timetable to run these meetings. So it's just over these 2 days and just at the time that we have sent you. Okay. So I really hope to see you next week. And it will also be your opportunity to come into the school and just get to see the staff that will be working with your children. Okay. Just before that, on Wednesday the 1st of July, we've got our actual transition day. You need to bring your child to the front reception area. It's just at the front of the school. We will welcome you at 8:50. So once we've got everybody else into the school, you need to drop them off at the main entrance, and we will walk the children in. They need to wear their current school uniform from primary school. And we do encourage the children to wear trainers. We do have some practical subjects on that day. So we have got some PE, for example. I need to make it really, really clear. They are not going to be assigned to their form classes on this day. We are just going to be putting the children into groups. The reason for this is we have not been able to meet you as part of the transition interviews yet. So we haven't got all the information we need to yet in order to absolutely ensure that we've got the form classes right. So they'll just be put into groups for the day. So please make that clear when you see your child that they are not going to know their form classes next week. They are just going to be put into a group. They do need to bring with them a packed lunch. That's very, very important that they've got a packed lunch with them. Please adhere to allergies guidance. Please do not pack any nuts as we are a nut-free school. They must have a water bottle with them. We do have water fountains around the school, so they can fill up their water bottle, especially in the current weather conditions. Please, they do need to have a water bottle with them. They need to have a pencil case with them, pen, pencil, ruler and eraser. They need to have a bag with them and a reading book. And we will be giving them a task to complete over the summer holidays and bring with them on the first day of school. It's a little all about me task that will help to for them to explain who they are and what they like, etc. on their first day. So they do need to prepare that. If you have filled in our free school meals Google form, we did ask that. There are a number of children that are free school meals, and we do provide a packed lunch for them. But if you have not filled in the form, and if we do not know that you are free school meals, then obviously you need to ensure that they've got their own packed lunch. It's very, very important. So where will your child be? As in the transition day themselves, they're mainly going to be in the main building, which you can see on the top right picture. Some children will have some of their lessons in the humanities building that day and have some access to the STEM provision. They are going to be using the toilets at break and lunchtime. They don't leave their lessons in order to go to the toilet at lunch and break, because we don't supervise toilets at that time, and they need to be learning lessons. We have got a number of hardcore areas and outdoor spaces. And for those children that we're doing some of the PE lessons that day, they will get a sense of that. And hopefully you saw that on our school tour. And they're going to have use of the main hall that day just to eat their lunches. But overall, our main area for the canteen is in the main building. So when they start in September, that's where they'll start to have their lunches. Timings of the school day. As per our website, it stays the same next year. So children need to be arriving by 8:30. They come through the Whitehall gate and then they will go and line up, and they have form time in the morning. And then you will see that they've got 2 lessons, then break time for half an hour. Then they've got their next lesson, so on the left-hand side. And then they've got their lunch for 40 minutes. Remember what I said about for year 7, they'll break up just slightly earlier before 12:30. It's normally about 12:15 because we get them into lunch a bit earlier at the start in their first term, so they get used to how to use the canteen. And then we've got lesson 4 and 5, and they finish at 3:10. The school uniform, I know you'd be quite eager to find out. We do have our uniform that's sold from Speed Stitch. It is a black blazer with the Heathcote badge sewn or ironed on, if bought separately. You've got that plain white shirt with collar, needs to be tucked in. You've got the school tie. So each of our year groups has a different colour on their tie. And you will see here that the year 7 will have the black stripes on their tie. So that is the one that they need to buy. That stays with them all the way through to when they finish in year 11. So you don't need to get another one. They need to have black school style trousers, not tight fitting. And we have the new knee length blue tartan kilt from Speed Stitch only. So this is the skirt that the girls are wearing, or they can wear the black school style trousers. For shoes, it's the black leather or leather look school shoes with a shoe sole, not canvas or labels. Okay. And here is a big picture of the Speed Stitch uniform that you can see here, and you've got a little QR scan on here. When you come in for your transition interviews next week, you will have a copy of the handbook and you can scan the QR code here as well. But the uniform is available currently now at Speed Stitch, but I want you to draw your attention to that skirt and also the girls' trousers. It's slim fit, please, but it's not tight fitting. And also it is black socks as well that we've put really clearly on here as well. Okay. How do we communicate with you? So we'll be setting you up on the Arbor app. We'll send you some further information around that. We do send out a Heathcote newsletter that has information about your year group and what's going on at school. We do send emails and text messages. Text messages is normally for reminders about forthcoming events. We may need to call you if we need to talk to you about something specific. And any trip consents happen through our Arbor system, and indeed any payments happen through our Arbor system. You will be contacted to set up your Arbor account because we need that live for when the children start in September so that they're ready to be uploaded onto the system to start paying for their school lunches. So we will be sending you that information. Okay, so in terms of behaviour expectations, we have really, really clear expectations around creating a culture of really good behaviour so that all children can learn to the best of their ability in our school. And we really do focus on ensuring that they are following our behaviour system and that all children are treated fairly, shown respect to promote good relationships. And there is a community within our school that really supports kindness, respect and empathy. And we really do help our learners to control their behaviour and be responsible for the actions in school and be responsible for how they interact with each other. And we do enable all students of all abilities to thrive within an inclusive ethos in our school. And we are going to share the behaviour policy at our parent information evening in September. But it's not just around the behaviour systems in terms of any sanctions. We also praise our pupils. We have a staff award praise point system for excellent work, attitude, effort, etc. We have half-termly reward assemblies to celebrate attendance and praise points with certificates and vouchers. And we have our form tutor, year lead and head teacher awards and subject nominations that happen half-termly. Reward trips run after most challenge weeks 3 times a year, including both free and paid options. And also we have leadership roles that pupils with excellent behaviour and attendance and effort can apply for in Key 3 and 4. So how are they praised? In the classroom, you can see that we have praise points. There's verbal and written feedback. The written feedback you would see within their books. Phone calls home, postcards and certificates. So there's lots and lots of things that happen at the classroom level. In the year group and department level, we have half-termly reward assemblies, subject praise points and certificates. can see we've got our praise point certificates as well as the subject ones. We have our ACE and Superstar awards, which have to come with a voucher, community awards, department star awards, and we need specific reward trips as well. In terms of whole school rewards, there are the different tiered ones here from bronze, silver to gold. Letters are sent home. We have tutor group prize weeks. We have vouchers and badges and prizes, as well as the reward trips, the head teacher awards. Attendance is really, really important, and we strive for a 100% attendance, and also for resilience around that coming to every day. So we do reward 100% attendance. And pupils that demonstrate our values of ready, respectful and responsible. And within that, we have our Encourage, Challenge and Succeed awards, and also pupil leadership. So the curriculum, we build upon what we know from the primary school curriculum, and of course there are also new subjects that the pupils are going to be encountering as discrete subjects, such as drama, for example, and some of the DT subjects. It is personalised to close gaps and stretch the most able pupils, and we really are thinking about that progression to GCSE and A-level. So we're building in the concepts of revision, core skills and important knowledge, and homework is set often online through our Google Sites, Seneca, Sparks, for example, so that they have homework to complete and it is marked, feedback is given. So further information about that is within our handbook. In terms of what is the structure of our lesson, we've done a lot of work on that, which has been recognised by Ofsted. We start all of our lessons with a recall task, what do I know, with a clear lesson objective, and supported by tier 2 and 3 language. So that is the specific words that the pupils are learning about and they have to apply as part of their work. New content is highlighted to the pupils, and they have that opportunity to engage with new information and through demonstration that is shared with them. And then they have to think how that connects with the keywords and concepts that they're encountering. They're engaging with that and independently working on it. They are checked for their understanding at that point before they practice, consolidate the learning within their written work or practical application. And then we review the learning at the end of the lesson so that we know where they are at, how to prepare for the next lesson. What does enrichment look like? Well, we've got 2 curriculum trips per academic year that's open to all pupils by different departments. We have a summer rewards trip, 2-night residential, which we aim to be very cost effective, and further information is coming. And we really tie in our enrichment with our curriculum to ensure that it supports learning. And of course, behaviour is really important around the school to ensure that they participate on the trips, that they've got to be demonstrating really good behaviour. There is Perry music lessons. Further information will be emailed out to you if you want to sign up for instrumental lessons. We've got lots of sports activities such as football, netball, tennis, basketball. There is so much, such a breadth of activity that children can sign up for. And we have our clubs published on the website, and that will be from September, the new ones we're running. And also clubs such as Art Club as well. All year 7s are encouraged to attend at least 1 club per fortnight, and there's no charges. And we do run a breakfast club, and we only charge for non-PP or pupil premium pupils. We only charge for those pupils that are not. So again, we have a range of instrumental lessons that are available. We're going to send you out further information. We know that that's been emailed already, but we can send you out the link again if you are interested in signing up for instrumental lessons. Summer school, we are running on the 22nd and 23rd of July. This is a paid for event. We're going to be sending you out information for this. The funding has changed this year with regard to Waltham Forest. So we are having to self-fund the event, which means that there is a charge to attend. And we have 100 spaces. And in order to pay for staffing and resources and the meals that are provided, we need to fill all of the places. If we don't have that much interest for summer school, then we won't be able to run it, and we will email you and let you know that it's been cancelled. But you will be contacted very, very shortly if you would like to for your child to attend summer school, and you'll find out the charge and how you can pay for this. We do have such events as maths and art and drama and dance. There's lots of different things, and they'll be guided around the school, find their way around. We've got on here that we were supposed to have sent the letter out on the 17th of June. We've not managed to sign this out yet, so I'm going to send it out very, very shortly, but I need to know first of all the interest that there is for summer school. At this point, please don't email in if you are interested. There's going to be a sign-up form for this, and then a payment has to be made, and then we will know if we can run that event if we have managed to fill the spaces. And it's from 9:45 to 2 o'clock. Gilwell Park is the 5th to the 7th of May next year. It's around £225, a deposit of £75, and you'll pay for that in monthly payments. 2 nights for 10 activities, and you can see the meals that are included, again 100 spaces, and this is just for year 7. So what do you do next? Please complete any forms and consent forms that we're emailing to you. Please make sure you have signed up ready for transition interviews next week, and transition day your child is prepared for. You need to start buying the uniform, and when we send you out the information for Gilwell and Summer School, you can start to sign up. Your child will have their transition pack given to them next Wednesday at transition days. They can complete their pack over the holiday and then hand it in to us, and be ready for the 3rd of September at 9 AM for the first day of school. So I hope to see many of you next week for transition day on the 1st. I will see some of you this Friday for SEND transition morning, and then we have our transition interviews next Thursday and next Friday. Okay, thank you very much for listening.